Yeah, it is. It's on. We're here. It is the road tour SendOutCards in Ontario. We have the room all ready to go. Hi. Oh, I'm here. This is a live broadcast, so you may not want your body in it. And we'll be starting shortly. Revolution and kindness. Hi, baby. I'm right here. I hope you can hear me. Well, come say hi. Just so I'm not the only one. Come. Because I asked Phoebe to make sure it's working from Vancouver. Hi. This is Kathy. Do you know Phoebe? Yeah. Say hi to Phoebe. Hi, Phoebe. Anita, do you know Phoebe? Oh, I know her, but she probably doesn't. Okay, this is Anita. You gotta know her, okay? She's gonna be a superstar. Yeah. Because we both sat with Jordan yesterday at dinner. Yes. And got the secret. Yeah. Thank TV. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, I just got back. No, I've been getting into the, how our head chatters, whatever. And I'm like, this is life. I like to always remind myself, right? So being here and definitely helps. Great. Wait, I want to thank you. I want to say hi to everybody. How are you?
So, yeah, we're talking about so really quickly, it's a matter of what? When you were in the beginning, how did you first I was member of the you guys should meet up around. How would you present it? Hey, I have something. I would say, hey, I want to show you something cool. I can use it here for about 10 minutes. My only the challenge that I see sign up with one in my that I am introducing money to one. Money will help. Yeah. You have to make it up. So your job your job is not to get somebody, your job is to set up the program.
Thank you. Because I have these guys.
I have not few schools like oh, tell me more. What is it? Like, I know someone who's he's doing something. Or one well, tell me more. Well, it's like it's a video. It only takes them. Is there a limit to how someone in China this I just it's all about things like this. You like to trust, it's not to try to sell it. I tried selling myself. You won't come here and let them do it. Online events, offline events, so right on the bridge. Figure out this budget that's we like people search a lot. You like people find you. You can predict what's going to happen. And let them do the rest of it. That takes a lot of pressure off. That was the big obstacle. Send them links to videos, send them links to webinars. That's the problem. usually in the protein system. Yeah. And then it's a tangible. And depends on your universities, how we're going to check it. So just go on check it. I know I said someone mentioned the day after. Okay. Are you close to budget because a week? Yeah. A week. Or just say that. Use the card look like this day. One of the best accessories. Oh gosh, I mean, I don't know. It's related first. Well, I'll tell you one thing. They're pretty personal. Brand new, brand spanking new. Came to the meeting for the first time. Sat next to a guy, set up a card. Guy was there, and it was like a first of all, I had a guy. Really hard to get quiet. I picked the guy that I said it for him. And I don't know, I usually give more details. But basically, the guy comes from East Africa. He's a lot of Indian, so I'm not sure what exactly he was, but basically, they were not very, their culture, said, and I just think there was some tension going on in the family. There was some private relations. It took 2 hours. I would not let him get off the train and do a sentence card. You got to send it. 2 hours with the verbiage. He sent it. I went away before he said that. Later I come back and yeah, listen. Come to me, I did. You don't have them in your card to ride. I rent to the mailbox. Card out, card over the train. You get this card to my wife. I'm kidding. I said it for 3 weeks. Then I finally give it to her. And now I continue my friend now. Get a square, because I consider you my friend. Square win. Square win. 2006. Yes, that's all right. Yeah, little things like that. This is a small thing also. Small hinges. Swing, big one. Because I'll look at it, just, rip down the technique. When you start doing spiritual, they get weird. That's why you have to play down. You have to absolutely. But anyway, have it down, lay it down, put it on. The fact that I don't type it, I don't sell it. I don't think this is either selling it. My goal is to get the book. I don't care. It's good. It's going to be an empty one. I just want to show you something. I'm not going to buy it. What is it? You got to say it's not my business. It's my business. No pressure. It's just one someone's reading cards, cards. I want to show you something. That's all. Anything you know? Thanks for letting me know. So, how many people here I've been very fascinated with the last several years. I've come a lot of the last 3 years, really, it's been successful. But I want to get these things big enough. Yeah, I'm a little bit away from running. I've seen the future, nature. Yeah, I'm gonna get a big course of it. Yeah, I never experienced that. Interesting stuff. I did. Really, you're just I thought it was being part of that. I wasn't looking for it. I was very and guys, I'm calling on what we do. So we were told how to talking about how to work with a small business. And lots of makes sense. I was on the some people they are like business company. It's only one company. That's not going to be more like
Morning, everyone. Morning. Who's ready to get started? All right. I'm sure we'll have a few latecomers, but right now, if you can all take your seats, and we'll get started in 30 seconds. Start counting. Oh, I'm meeting customers, by the way. The manager at SendOutCards. 2 minutes. 2 minutes. Sorry.
Good morning, everybody. Good morning. How's my sound here? I know I've got to get my turn it up. Am I confused? All right. Good morning, everybody. How's that? Thanks, everybody, for coming out. I'm so excited, guys. This is fantastic. We have so many amazing things to talk about and show you today. Oh, Megan. I love Megan. Megan, come here. I got to bring you out here because you're not going to be doing too much talking today because you're just going to leave that up to me. But anyway, thanks for that. She's been just by my side helping with everything. So I just want a round of applause for Megan. All right, good morning, everybody, and thank you so much for taking time out of your very busy schedules. Can we turn the music off? There we go. Oh, that's better. All right. Thank you, everybody, for taking some time out of your very busy schedules. I know a lot of us, we've got some babies here, some mommies, woo woo. Appreciate that for coming out, and really, it's this is going to be worth your time, not just the morning, but the afternoon session. We've got so much coming down the pipeline with SendOutCards and technology, and so many amazing, amazing things happening with this company that I really just feel like we're just getting started. So without, just for those of you who don't know me, my name is Melissa Barlock, and I'm a senior manager with SendOutCards. Thank you. Let me give you a little bit of background on me. So I got a little bit of a diverse background. I went to college for business finance, and then I went to university for linguistics. So two very, very different things. After school, I decided that I didn't want to settle down. I wanted to do a little bit of traveling, because there's so much more to life than just going into an office-style job and doing the 9-to-5 thing, I thought. So I decided to do some traveling. I took a TESOL course to teach English as a second language, and I headed over to Japan, and I taught English for a few years there. Fabulous, fabulous experience. Met lots of people from all over the world, came back home, didn't know what I was going to do, but I knew that I needed to do something. I needed a job, I needed a house, saved up some money there, wanted to buy a house, so I needed to get a job. So I landed myself a job in a corporate organization, and loved it. I had a really cushy job, and I was able to do a lot of entertaining, taking people out for golf, and wining and dining with clients. So it really was a great job. Then I met the man of my dreams, John Barlock. Where's John? At the back, I see. I have a spot for you up here. And we got married, and we had two beautiful, beautiful kids, Lauren and Braden. I'm going to get to you. And we decided that I was going to stay home from work, which it was a mutual decision. And so, of course, I left the corporate world, or my corporate job, my cushy job there, and I decided to become a stay-at-home mom, which I absolutely love. They're my why. So very busy mom, stay at home with the kids. Something missing though, there was something, a part of me, there was a part of me that really wanted something more to define me as a person, or as a woman, or who I was. And although I wasn't looking for something, or I didn't realize I was looking for something, it wasn't until my kids were 1 and 3 at the time, we were up at our cottage up north, and our neighbor at the cottage had a party, invited us to the party. A couple weeks later, I get a card in the mail, and the card had pictures from the party. It was pictures of all of us from the party having fun, just very candid pictures. I thought, this is a really, really neat card. I wonder how they did that. And I left it at that. I didn't ask any more questions. It was just kind of left it at that. So Gail, who actually is my sponsor, she called me up and said, about 3 weeks later, she said, Melissa, I'm heading to Toronto for a SendOutCards seminar. Will you come? And I said, well, what's it all about? She said, well, there's this opportunity. My sister and brother-in-law, they live in BC, and they do SendOutCards as an addition to their other business. One's an accountant, one's in sales, but they added onto their business and they wanted to create residual income. And I said, well, I don't really know anything about that. I know I'm not interested. So she said, well, just come, I'll buy you a drink. We'll have a girls' night out. And I said, okay, I'll come for that. So she twisted my arm. So we went to this presentation, just the two of us. Neither of us were in SendOutCards at the time. We just heard that there was this presentation. And so we went, and it just so happened that Jordan Adler was the keynote speaker, who I really didn't know anything about at the time. Sorry, Jordan. What a pleasure it was for me to be able to be in that room and see him speak. So we got there, and it was Jordan who was at the front of the room, and he was demonstrating how you can create a card online with the click of a button, click and drag, click send. You could add a gift, click send, and the company will print stuff, stamp, and deliver the card for you. And I thought, this is really cool. And you can imagine the network that I was in, a lot of stay-at-home moms. And at the time, we were doing a lot of invitations, thank yous, you've got your baptisms, your birthdays, the list goes on and on and on and on for for cards. And so I thought, this is a really cool service, and I can save money. Great. So then they started talking about the opportunity. And they started to talk about the fact that it's online. Really, this is something that is a global business that you can span. You can span globally, literally with your laptop, your computer. Then I started to get really excited. I remember my heart racing, and I remember taking out a pen and writing down all the names of the people that I know would love this service. So I ended up writing down at least 100 names that day. I was so excited about it. So all excited, Gail and I decided we're going to join this amazing company called SendOutCards. So I get home, tell my husband, and John, I've got this amazing opportunity, SendOutCards. I can work from home, I can stay with the kids, I can network with moms that I'm already networking with. And he looks at me and he says, well, what is it, like a pyramid thing? I don't know if that's a no-no to say. And I said, well, what do you mean by that? What do you mean by pyramid thing? And he says, well, you know, where the person at the top makes all the money and everybody else makes less than you. And I said, well, isn't that like your business? You're the owner, and everybody else makes less than you. And he looks at me and he says, I never thought of it that way. And I said, besides, they're illegal and it's nothing like that. So he said, well, you can do it, but I don't think you're going to make any money at it. And so I almost didn't go for it. I almost didn't go for it because he wasn't putting me down. He wasn't not supporting me. He just knows that when I go into something, I jump in with both feet, and he didn't want me to put my energies where they would be wasted. And so I held back. I held back for a few days. In fact, I held back for a couple weeks, but I could not stop thinking about it. I could not stop thinking of names and of people and opportunities and around the world, and you know, I just couldn't stop thinking about it. So I thought, you know what, to hell with it. I'm going to do it, and I'm going to make a lot of money, and I'm going to stick it to him. So I did. So I joined this company called SendOutCards, and you know, I think God or the divine or whoever you want to think, I think every day that I did get started, because I can tell you that it has completely changed my life, not only financially. Not only have I been able to take my family to Disney and Puerto Rico and all these other things, but I've met some incredible people, and most of you guys are in the room today. The personal development, the people that I've met, the positivity is something that you just can't buy, you can't find in just any organization. And this was one of the biggest surprises that came up to me. So this is one of the things that I love to tell people about as well. You've got this amazing opportunity, these amazing people, and I thank goodness every day that I got started. So now it's funny that my husband is my #1 supporter. He enabled me to go to a convention, stayed at home with the kids, as well as my brother, he stayed with the kids, so I thank them for that. And it's funny that now that when we're at parties, he's the one who's directing his friends over to me and saying, hey, you got to talk to my wife, she's got this really, really cool business. So it's amazing that when you follow your heart and you follow your intuition, and you go with your gut sometimes, or you go with your heart, it's amazing the things that you can do. And I can tell you in the last 2 years, I really, it's changed my life. So I'm so excited that you guys have taken time out today. I'm so excited that you brought guests. I want you guys to really pay attention to what we're talking about today, because we're talking about something that is so big, and we're just getting started. We have a full day packed with information and things that are coming with SendOutCards, the technological advancements, the social media standpoint. So there's so much to learn. Take notes. We've got some fabulous speakers today. Our first very special speaker. I've gotten to know this man over the last few months, and actually he's turned into a personal mentor of mine. Mr. Steve Schulz is the president of field operations. He's single-handedly, well, not single-handedly, but I get your team. You built over 170,000 people in his organization, made over $15 million in network marketing. He recently wrote his own book. Yes, sometimes it is about the money. And he is just doing some things. He's just doing some things with this company that incredible. So to have him here in Canada really, really is a fabulous opportunity for us. I'm so grateful to have Mr. Steve Schulz presenting to us today.
The reason that John is not sitting where Melissa said is because he said she wasn't going to make any money. You were a smart boy and you sat back there with the camera. Right? Melissa mentioned all the moms in the room. Okay. Stop it. It's about the guys this weekend. Happy Father's Day to all the fathers in the room, right? Guys only. There's free beer on the other side of the wall. Hey, I see some sleepy eyes in this room here, including my own. Because I couldn't stop watching the hockey game last night. Do you guys even care because there wasn't a Canadian team in the you care? There's a lot of Canadians on those teams, right? Yes. I could not stop watching that. You guys got a pretty good game up here. That's good. That's good. I think I've turned Canadian. Because number one, the last world tour that I did before the convention was in Vancouver. And the first one after the convention is here in Ontario. So A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I, J, K, L, M, N, O, P, Q, R, S, T, U, V, W, X, Y, Z. I mentioned Z the other last time I was here. Everybody laughed at me. Z as in Z, right? Is that right? All right. Well, listen, guys. Thanks for coming out and spending just a little bit of time with us, especially the guests. All right, those of you who may be looking at SendOutCards for the first or second time, you guys are the reason we're here. And the reason that you guys were invited out here this morning is to get some information. But I'm going to flat out tell you this, and we're going to keep this really informal here today. And I'm going to go way off script when I go through this presentation. Guys, the reason you're here, okay, if you apply the information that you hear today, it will change your life. Okay, and the free beer. Because listen, and when I say that, I know a lot of you are looking at me going, come on, man, I've heard this before. I've heard about those things before, right? Guys, I'll tell you what, we've got, literally hundreds of thousands of people all over the world that are using SendOutCards, completely change their life. You don't have to give up anything of what you're doing. Just build this business on the side of what you're currently doing, but when your part-time income starts to exceed your full-time income, and most importantly, on a monthly residual basis, meaning the money is there whether you're working or not, well, at that point, you would have the greatest problem in the world to have, wouldn't you? And that's what happened to me. Guys, my story is this. I got involved in this industry when I was first introduced to this concept. Man, it was 24 years ago. 24 years ago, when I was first introduced to this concept, and 24 years ago, when I first heard about it, I was a school teacher. And I kid about it, but I'm serious. I was a dead broke, full-time school teacher. And any of you relate to that? No, I mean the dead broke part. People in the back start doing the wave. Because I was looking for a way to supplement my income. Why? Because every school teacher that I knew, they did something extra. And when I looked at this industry, I said, this is just the something extra that I was going to do. Never, ever, ever, ever did I think this would replace my teaching income. I thought it would be a great supplement. But after working my business on a part-time basis for about a year, guys, I'm talking 3 to 5 hours a week as well, so it's not a huge time commitment. I don't want anybody to walk out of here today going, man, what a great opportunity. But I just don't have time. Yes, you do. 3 to 5 hours a week is what I put into it. And after a year of doing so, my wife, Colleen, who taught first grade, she was able to leave her teaching position, and about a year and a half later, I was able to leave mine. Well, in that short 24-year period. And I always hesitate when I say that word because I don't think short and 24 years belongs in the same sentence, right? But in that short 24-year period, we built a pretty big group. Guys, we went out there and we simply shared the concept with just a few people. But what we did, Melissa, is we took that small little group and we taught them a system. A really, really simple, duplicatable system. And they went out and did the same, who did the same, who did the same, who did the same. And we personally built an organization of more than 170,000 people, and we've made over $15 million so far. And I always say so far, because those of us that are in this business, every single day when I wake up, I feel like we're just getting started. We're just getting started. Those of us that are in this business, every single day when we wake up, we have a chance to change somebody's life. That is a pretty cool way to live your life on a daily basis. And that's the opportunity that I want to share with you guys here today. Now, I probably don't have to tell anybody this, but we live in an incredibly negative world. Yes or yes? Yeah. Okay? Now, I'll just speak what's going on in the States, guys, but down south, we're talking about unemployment. We're talking about gas prices. We're talking about foreclosures. For Pete's sake, our government just reopened a few months ago. Oh, don't worry, it'll be closed again soon, all right? As we live in a really, really negative world. I mean, we are still looking for a jet airliner that just vanished. We live in a really negative world. What we do here at SendOutCards is the complete opposite. What we do here at SendOutCards is unbelievably positive. Let me ask you this. If I could show you a way to get paid, if I could show you guys a way to get paid for simply being nice to people, would you be interested? Oh, yeah. Okay, half the group missed rehearsal. If I could show you guys a way to get paid for simply being nice to people, would you be interested? Who says no to that? Right? Everybody has to say at least yes. Even if you're looking at this for the very first time, you're looking at me going, okay, that sounds intriguing, right? If I can show you a way to get paid for simply being nice to people, would you be interested? Every single person at least says, yeah, show me what you're up to. Let me tell you a little bit about our company. Guys, SendOutCards was founded in 2003 by Cody Bateman. Our international headquarters are located in Salt Lake City, Utah, and SendOutCards is a member of the Direct Selling Association. Now, let me tell you a little bit about how we came to be. What happened is that Cody Bateman, our founder, made a promise to his brother Chris, after losing him in a terrible job-related accident, that he would create a platform for people to act on their promptings. They sit back and go, okay, Steve, what's a prompting? Well, a prompting is that inner voice that tells you to do something. You see, at a family gathering, Cody was prompted to go say goodbye to his brother. But for some reason, he didn't do it. He just kind of waved to him from across the yard. Well, 3 months later, Chris was gone, and Cody was devastated. Cody vowed to never ignore a prompting again. Cody created SendOutCards so that people all over the world could act on their promptings. See, Cody's goal was to take the greeting card and the gifting business from a traditional brick-and-mortar type environment to an online click-and-order type environment, the exact same way that Amazon did for books, Netflix did for movies, and iTunes did for music. Now, we're going to come back and we're going to talk about these three companies a little bit later on this morning. Guys, when you take a look at companies like Amazon, Netflix, and iTunes, you're talking about multi-billion-dollar successful companies. And I have the gall to put those companies on the same slide as a SendOutCard slide. Wow. Yes, we're going to talk about how all that relates in just a few minutes. Now, let me ask you this. How many of you love to receive greeting cards and gifts? Doesn't that just make you feel good knowing that somebody's at least thinking about you? Oh, yeah. How many of you love to send greeting cards and gifts? It's even better, isn't it? It's even better. Your parents were right. It is better to give than it is to receive. Well, on average, we send about 10 cards per year. But with birthdays, anniversaries, special occasions, there's a need to send 70. So the question is, why don't we send more greeting cards and gifts? If it makes us feel so good to do so, why don't we send more greeting cards and gifts? Well, 3 reasons. Number 1, it's inconvenient. Number 2, we forget. And number 3, it costs too much. Well, I'm going to show you guys here today with SendOutCards that it's unbelievably convenient. We are never going to let you forget an occasion, and you're going to be able to send cards and gifts at a fraction of the price that you would traditionally pay. Because what happens is that SendOutCards will remind you of your friend's birthdays, anniversaries, special occasions. You're going to get an email that says, hey, it's Bob's birthday in 2 weeks. You can click on the link, and it takes you directly to your SendOutCards website, where you can choose one of thousands of pre-made cards in any category that you could possibly think of, or you can completely create your own. And you can start with a blank canvas, you can add pictures, you can stretch that picture all the way across the page. I love you very much, okay? You can even write your own greeting, and you can do it in your handwriting, okay? Now, when you hit send, okay, your special friend, whoever, is going to receive this very, very special gift from you. Guys, that card right there is about $1.11, and you just got to add the postage. Okay? So in other words, and they're going to receive this through the Postal Service. And this is not an e-card. It comes through the Postal Service. So in other words, SendOutCards is convenient. We're never going to let you forget, and you are going to save a whole bunch of money. Now, one of the things that we announced at our convention just a couple of weeks ago, and we are in the beta test, is something that we call Sincere. George's going to talk a little bit more about this a little bit later on this morning. But guys, this right here is, I think we overuse the word game changer. But let me say something different. Sincere is a game changer. Right? When I talk about SendOutCards in the same category as an iTunes, an Amazon, and a Netflix, this is going to be the reason why. Because with Sincere, you are going to be able to share your cards online. Alright? So this is what it looks like today. We're in the beta test of this today, and some of you in this room have, maybe some of you have put cards up here. Devil Brian, where's Devil Brian? Yeah, here's your card, baby, right there. Look at this. Deb. This is your screen for Pete's sake. I did not do that on purpose. Look how many cards Deb has loaded on here already. That's pretty good. You got, how many do you have up there? About 30? I just randomly picked a screenshot. It's you, girl. All right, well, Tiffany Lyons has got some in there, but it's Steve and Gail, Zentech. All right, but this is obviously the Devil Brian show right here. Okay? And so what you can do, I mean, what does this look like to you guys? Interest. Every single one of you, if you could turn back the hands of time, you would have sold everything that you had to be able to buy stock in Infinity. You have that ability right now with SendOutCards. And you don't have to buy the stock, all you have to do is just involve yourself, all right? This is what it looks like. You're going to be able to go out there and you're going to be able to share your cards on Sincere. Now you sit there and go, okay, why is that such a big deal? Watch this. You can create, you can see what your cards are. You can look at the people in your organization, what cards they posted on here. You can follow people. You've got your favorites. If you click on categories, look at all the different categories. Okay, so when people post their cards, they label them in one of these categories or they create a new category. So when you go to Sincere, you can look at all these cards. It's like, oh, I want a baby shower, birthday, whatever. You click on the categories. I love this card right here. Deb, did you take that picture? No? I mean, I love that card. So here's what I did the other day. I took that card, and I said, okay, I want to send that card. Don't you love that? No dogs beyond this point. That dog is a rebel. Look at that. Come on, get it, baby. Don't you love that? So what happens is, guys, if you happen to share the card, and you happen to share it either on Sincere or you share it on Facebook or any one of these social media outlets, and I happen to click on your card, it is going to prompt me to set up a SendOutCards account so that I can send that card. It goes into my card editor. I can change the greeting. I can edit this card. As long as you post it, it becomes fair game. Okay? I liked it. I click on it. I want to send it. I'm not a part of SendOutCards. It's going to prompt me to set up an account. When I set up my account, I become your customer. How many of you are on Pinterest? How many of you are addicted to Pinterest? My 23-year-old daughter is addicted to Pinterest. And when we came out with Sincere, she was just looking at me like, hey, Jordan, that's the demographic we've been talking about. She's going crazy, my daughter Emily, in downloading cards and sharing cards and all this kind of stuff. Guys, when I talk about it being a game changer, this is it right here. Because we've got unbelievably creative people in SendOutCards. All right? And you're going to be able to go to Sincere, and you're going to be able to share these cards, and people are going to be able to take these cards and send them and do all kinds of stuff with it. And Jordan's going to talk a little bit more about that a little bit later on today. Now, I believe, guys, you take all of this, and did I mention it's greeting cards and gifts? Not a lot of moving parts here, right? We get paid to do nice things for people. I believe it's the perfect business. Why? Because this is a business where there's no inventory, there's no deliveries, there's no collections, we never collect any money from anybody, there's no risk, there are no employees. John, there are no employees. Okay? There are no employees, John. Okay? And if there are no employees, there are no employers. Okay, who's in? Now, to get started with your SendOutCards business is a one-time, fully refundable application deposit of $50. However, you guys want to take advantage of everything that this company has to offer, come in at the position that we call Marketing Distributor, MD. One-time setup fee of $395. That's it. So one-time setup fee of $395. John, would it have been amazing for you to start your own business for $395? Ridiculous. I mean, you can't even buy a front door to your building for $395. Okay? For $395, you're going to get everything that you need to go build a successful business, including state-of-the-art websites, back office support, customer service, unlimited training, Sincere, all the stuff that we have to offer. Plus, we're going to give you 10 preferred customer accounts. We're going to give you 10 of our best product. And what we're going to add is a good deal. Okay? There's a value on that of $310. So guys, you come in for $395, you get everything you need to go build a business, plus we're giving you $310 worth of our product. And here's what we want you to do with these preferred customer accounts. They come loaded with 100 points and 2 stamps. So we want you to share and leverage the power of our product. You can go sell these and put those $31 in profit in your pocket if you want to. Or you can simply give them away and let people try our product. Because guys, what we found out is that when people hit the send button on SendOutCards, they fall in love with it. They fall in love with it. So you've got 10 of these accounts to share with other people. Because once they start sending cards, they're going to become loyal card senders, or they're going to become loyal distributors. So we want to leverage the power of our product. And we're giving you 10 of those. And you can buy extras. So you might max of 10 for $150 after that, which is 50%. You know, it's savings of 50%. Now, the simplicity of our business is this. We only do 2 things. We sign up customers, and we show other people how to get started signing up customers. That's it. Customers and distributors. That's all we do. Now, with those 2 things in mind, here's how you get paid. All right, let's say, for example, this is you. The first thing you're going to want to do is you're going to go out there and activate 2 of those preferred customer accounts. Now, the key word there was activate. Whether you sell them and put that money directly in your pocket or you give them away to somebody, it doesn't matter. Just light up those 2 accounts, make sure you do it within your first 7 days, and you're going to earn a $50 bonus. Not a big deal, but it puts money in your pocket right away. Now, the second thing we're going to do is we're going to show other people how they can get started doing the exact same thing. So let's say, for example, that you shared this opportunity with 3 people. Now, when these 3 people go activate 2 of their preferred customer accounts, and they do it within 7 days, they get 50, 50, 50. But because you personally brought them into the business, you make 140, 140, 140. Okay? Guys, you make $140 for everybody that you help get started in our business. Now, right there is your small business plan. Because once you go do that, you're going to promote to the position of manager. Who did I talk to about becoming a manager by the end of the weekend? Carolyn. That's all we got to do, right there. Okay. Go drag him in here. We'll get him in here. Okay? That's your small business plan. Because now, once you become a manager, nothing changes. It's just a fancy title that means nothing. It means nothing except more money. It means nothing except more money. I don't care what your title is. The only two things you are ever going to do are customers and reps. That's it. Okay? So now you're a manager. Let's go out there and share it with 3 more people. Once again, when these people go out and they activate their 2 preferred customer accounts, they get 50, 50, 50. But because you are now a manager, you get, what, 240, 240, 240. You get a $100 per person raise. So the title doesn't mean anything except more money. Okay? But watch this. These people right here that you just brought into the business after you became a manager, these people, they all have the same small business plan that you do. And they're going to go get others, who get others, who get others, who get others, who get others. Well, every single person who comes into your group from this point on, you make $100 per person. Do the math. Do the math. Okay? Now, think about it. What if you had 10, 20, 100 people join your organization in a given month? You were picking up $100 per person? Remember, you don't even know who these people are. This is a monkey see, monkey do business. Alright? You can earn. You can promote yourself 5 times, okay? And you can earn between $240 and $335 for everybody that you personally get started in our business. And you can earn between $100 and $195 for everybody that joins your team, whether you personally had anything to do with it or not. And that bonus is paid to a limited number of levels. Guys, the biggest month that I've ever had in my business, I had 1,280 people join my group in 1 month. Wow. 1,280 people in 1 month. Now you can clap. Listen, I love that. Thanks for the applause. I did nothing. I didn't do it. Jordan, the only thing I did was get it started. You just go get it started, they go get a few, go get a few. That particular month, I brought 1 person in. But that's the power of multiplication and duplication. Now, you can also earn up to 25% on all of the cards and gifts sent by all of the SendOutCards users in your organization. And once again, these bonuses are paid to an unlimited number of levels. You guys think about literally having tens of thousands of people in your organization sending greeting cards and gifts. And you pick up a percentage of that every single month. Now, we have got people literally all over the world that are acting on their promises. And I know that there are some people in this room going, okay, I get it. It's greeting cards and gifts, I get it. But can I do this? Can I really go out there and do this? Guys, the simplicity is this. There's only 3 simple steps in building a business like this. You use your 10 preferred customer accounts to simply share what SendOutCards has to offer. Just get people to hit the send button. Step 2, sign up the people who want to become customers. Step 3, sign up the ones who want to become distributors. That's it. And then we just go activate more of those accounts. And we do it again, and again, and again, and again. Now, another little incentive here is the monthly manager bonus pool. Okay, now this is a revenue sharing pool that you can swim in. How many of you in this room are swimming in the monthly manager bonus pool? Hands up, hands up, keep your hands up. Okay, these are the people who are buying lunch. Yeah, everybody's hand just went down in a hurry. Okay, here's what it is, you guys. This pool is made up of 1% of the total global customer volume. Guys, we do business in the United States, Canada, the UK, Ireland, Singapore, Australia, and New Zealand. That's where we do business today. Today. That will be changing soon. Okay? 1% of the total global customer volume, and this pool is divided amongst all who qualify on a monthly basis. Now, how do you qualify for the pool? It's simple. You have to be a manager, won't get done by the end of the weekend. Okay? You have to have $93 in personal and customer volume. In other words, you as a distributor get a $31 a month account. Okay, so that's 31 of your 93. Just find 2 other customers. That's it. Okay? And then activate 10 of your preferred customer accounts on a monthly basis, of which 2 of them have to be subscribing customers. Okay? So give away to people, make sure that they hit the send button, but 2 of them have to be subscribing customers. That's one way that you can qualify for the pool. The other way, sponsor 3 people. They bring 3 marketing distributors in, make sure that they give their customers, you know, I always say 7 days, because you want to make sure that those bonuses are paid. So you want to qualify for the pool on a monthly basis. Now, guys, in the markets that we are in, this company is poised for massive growth. I mean, millions of people are going to experience SendOutCards in the next few years. At our national convention just 2 weeks ago, Cody Bateman, our founder and CEO, got up on stage, and his goal is to add 1 million new users in the next 12 months. 1 million. And those 1 million people have to fall underneath someone. Are there any takers? Are you in? They have to fall underneath the people that are already in the business, right? All right, let's wrap this up. Guys, when I turn you back over to the person who invited you here today, you are going to fall into one of 2 categories, right? You are a 1 if you want to share SendOutCards, become a distributor, and get paid to show other people how to act on the problems. You're a 1 if you want to become a distributor. You are a 2 if you want to become a customer. That's it. Either you are a 1 or you are a 2. Guys, we have got examples of success all over the street. I really, really, really want you to know that you can do this because you're already doing it. You're already sending greeting cards and gifts to people. With SendOutCards, we're going to make it convenient. We're never going to let you forget, and you're going to save a bunch of money. Everybody can do this. And we do have examples of success all over this room. Melissa, you want to help me with this? I want you guys to meet some people who are killing this. Okay, and some of them are doing it full-time, some of them are doing it part-time. But Melissa, introduce some of those people. Let's have them tell their story.
All right, first I want to just say something about anybody can do this. I bring my laptop with me and my smartphone everywhere. I literally call my cards my mobile office because I don't fit. SendOutCards fits into my life. So being a busy mom, I pick up my kids at 1 o'clock. I have a couple hours in the morning, and truly, I bring my laptop to their karate, to their gymnastics, to all their programs, wherever I am. You're constantly meeting people, and this is where you're networking and you're connecting. And really, that's all it is about building relationships. You know, finding out about people and what they're doing, and usually people are interested. When people ask me, hey, what do you do? What are you doing over there all the time with your laptop and your iPhone? Well, actually, I've got an online business. And truly, you know, when Steve talks about 3 to 5 minutes or 3 to 5 hours a week, he's right. It's something that, you know, when I first started, it was maybe 10, 15 minutes a day because I had a 1-year-old and a 3-year-old around me all the time. So I had to be out at the park, and that's where I met my distributors, my customers. These are people who you're meeting every single day. So truly, it's something that anybody can do alongside anything that they're doing. So there are a couple of people in this room that I wanted to bring up, and the first is Catherine Asaro-Mares, and she's a senior distributor with SendOutCards. She's done a phenomenal job in the SendOutCards community. She's won an amazing prestigious award called the Gratitude Award 2013 convention where Cody Bateman, the founder and CEO, presented to her. She's also been featured in Sock Stars magazine, and we're really, really, again, another amazing lady that I met through SendOutCards and always a supporter of our events here in Oakville and in Ontario. So I'd like Catherine to come and stand up and talk a little bit about gratitude today.
Thank you so much. Welcome, everybody. How's everybody doing today? Fantastic. It's great to be here in the same room with all of you wonderful people. How many guests are in? I am grateful for you to be here today. A round of applause for our guests today. I wrote an I am statement how I wanted to be up in front of the stage with Cody Bateman and Jordan Adler and now Steve Schulz. And it happens. When you write it down, it happens. Melissa, thank you so much for giving me the opportunity to talk about gratitude. Have you ever had a defining moment in your life?
Yes.
Thank you. I did. When my grandson was born on April 22nd, 2008, and his first words were rah-rah. I said, that's me. So I am now rah-rah. That is who I have defined myself by those two words. And it means something to me. I get this great sensation, this feeling. And then there was another defining moment. And that was when I went to convention. And Cody Bateman called my name. And Lori dealt right after me. And my knees were shaking. I really could hardly stand up. And I thought, how am I going to get to that stage? This is what I was dreaming about. I wanted this. I wrote it. I knew it was going to happen. I was looking for Joe. I'm thinking, let me just get to the front. If I shake Joe's hand, I'll make it to the stage. I was shaking. I thought, this is it. Gratitude every single day. I did something that brought me closer. So I'll make this story really short. Do you have anybody in your life that you want to bring into your life every day, whether they're near or far? Okay. I thought about my parents, and I wanted to honor their anniversary, their wedding anniversary. So what I did is I sat down in front of my SendOutCards account, and I sent a card to someone. May 22nd, 2012. I said, if I send this card, I will be honoring my parents' anniversary. This is how I will bring them back into my life. And it worked. I felt very, very honored to do that. And I did this every day. It's over 2 years. I sit in front of my computer as soon as I wake up. Steve, I sent you a card this morning at 6 o'clock. I get a prompting to send someone a card. And every time I hit the send button, that brings my parents closer to me. Let me ask you a question. Think about the person that you want to bring into your life right now. Raise your hand if you have someone on your mind. Can you think of someone? I'm going to ask you to bring that name up into the room. I'm just going to pick on you, but in a good way. Please keep your hand up. Who's the person that you'd like to bring into the room?
Jason.
Jason, thank you so much. Elizabeth, thank you. Naveed, thank you.
My grandmother.
Your grandmother.
My brother Steve.
Your brother Steve. Did I see some hands over here? Susan, your mom. Madeline. Lloyd. Wilma. Yes. Anybody you'd like to bring into the room? Nella. Okay. Anyone else? Yes. Deanna. I would like to call on each and every one of you to think about that person. Think about the person you'd like to bring into the room. Try this exercise. I started with 30 days. I wrote down the names of people that were close to me, and I wanted to have them closer. I wrote a card to someone else, because some of them were not able to be in the room. And I shared that, and it made me feel like I brought them right next to me. I am so grateful for winning the Gratitude Award. I'm so grateful for sharing this exercise with you. If you have the ability to do that, please go out, bring gratitude, share that with others in your life, bring the people close to you that you love, and know that you can do this. And guess what? You get paid for that. How great is that? Thank you, Melissa. Thank you, Catherine.
It's amazing that this SendOutCards, how we really are able to express gratitude. And so many people, and I have so many stories from people who have called me up or sent me cards to say thank you for introducing me to SendOutCards, not only from a monetary, financial gain, but also because they're reaching out to people in kindness, whereas people tend to not say things to your face. They wait until it's too late. And I find with SendOutCards, you're really able to act on your prompting and say how you feel. And I've sent those cards myself, and I've had, people in my family who have called me up with tears saying, I didn't know that you felt that way. So certainly it's changed my life, and I know so many others just by the power of words and having them written down. So thank you for that, Catherine. The next testimonial that we have, actually, recently met Dr. Joe, and he's a very successful chiropractor, but also utilizes SendOutCards in his business. So I wanted Dr. Joe to come up and talk a little bit about how he's utilizing gratitude and SendOutCards in his business.
So, thanks everybody. The reason that I got into SendOutCards, I tend to be a little bit more pragmatic about things and look at the dollars. And recently at our convention, it was really reaffirmed to me why I got into SendOutCards. Our founder, Cody Bateman, was giving us the evolution of SendOutCards, where the technology had been and where it was going. And he said, we are the premier follow-up company out there. I don't want us to be the premier CRM company out there. If everybody knows what CRM is. We are the premier follow-up company. He's focused. He knows who we are and why we're here and what we're doing. This is something that I do in my practice as well, and also in my other businesses of teaching people actually how to stand up here and present, and also in the relationship workshops that I do with my fiancée, Dr. Val. The reason that I started using SendOutCards is I wanted to increase my business. I wanted to be able to follow up with people and stay in connection with them. Did you know that only 43% of people do not follow up with a prospect ever? So you're dropping opportunities for business right there, Bruce, if you don't follow up with somebody. And only 10% of people follow up more than 3 times with a prospect. And the interesting part about these numbers is that only 2% of sales happen on the first contact with somebody. And only 10% of sales happen on the 4th contact. Anybody have any idea how much of the sales happen beyond that? Is that a number? Sorry? 80%, exactly. 80% of sales happen on the 5th through 12th contact with the prospect. So this, when I heard that stat, I was like, okay, I see the value of the SendOutCards of staying in connection with people. So I created a strategy to be able to stay in contact with the people that I connect with, to build the relationships with my prospects, with my patients, with the people that I teach. And I created a strategy that actually creates 10 contacts. So I'm right in the sweet spot of that 5 to 12 contacts. And it's helped me increase my business, not only chiropractically with patients, but also in presentation trainings. This is something that I do with RARA, and in the relationship workshops. People love getting the cards. So use them, follow up. It keeps people, it keeps you in people's minds. Thank you.
When I first started with SendOutCards, I made my husband be my first customer. And I said, you're going to be sending cards, because I don't send cards. I said, you are now. And so I started sending cards and making him call me when he had a meeting and say, okay, what'd you guys talk about? Give me a little bit. And I'd send him a follow-up, thank you for meeting, or thank you for referral. And he started to get a response. He had people starting to call him back saying, hey, thanks for the card. And it started creating conversation where it may not have happened before, which then builds on relationships. And the more you engage with people, the more that you think about them, the more they feel appreciated. Well, you know what happens. So I can definitely attest to that, Dr. Joe. So thank you for that. Our last testimonial is from a very good friend of mine. She's done a killer job in this business in such a short amount of time. She's a manager with SendOutCards. She's won a contest. SendOutCards has incentive contests every so often, and we had a contest in, I think, January it was Sponsor 10 in Winnipeg. And for those of you who don't know what a Ben is, shame on you. So she was able to do that in the month of January, and she's just done such a great job, and I'm so proud of her. Julie Skelding, where are you? There you are. Come on up, please.
So I have a story similar to Melissa's. My name is Julie Spalding, but it's not Melissa Marla. Okay, I'm coming to terms with that. So for 15 years, I worked in healthcare. I was a nurse, I was a bioethicist, and more recently, I was in corporate performance. And then I've always had this little itch to own my own business. So I got pregnant, and I thought, now's the time. So I went and did a yoga teacher training and a prenatal teacher training course, and thought, okay, when I have little babies at home, I can own my own business. So because some of you laughed, or most of you laughed, it sounds to me like you either have young children or you have friends with young children, so like fantasy out the door. But now I'm 6 years post my first baby, and I still have this itch in the back of my head. And I met Melissa just over a year ago in our daily routines of dropping off school, gymnastics, karate, etc. And Melissa pulled the trick on me that Gail pulled on her. She said, hey, would you like to come for a coffee? And I was like, cards and gifts? Too freaky for me. No way, I can't do cards and gifts. She's like, come on, just come for Starbucks. We'll just go to a meeting, and if nothing else, we'll take the big girl car. Thank you, John. Got to take the big girl car, and we'll get to know each other a little bit better. So I said, my husband, Brent, you know what this is about, right? Like, oh God, here we go. So Steve Walton isn't here, but my famous black sweater is sitting over there. I bring it with me to most SendOutCards events now. I sat in the meeting like this. Just like that. And on the way home, I said, I'm not doing this. I just want you to know I'm not going to do this. Right now were my words. Because I've learned not to ever say never anymore. And I said, I don't need another reason to feel bad about myself. I have enough. I'm a mother. I have enough reason to feel bad. And, but I couldn't sleep. Much like Melissa, I just could not sleep. And the next morning, my husband said, so you're still going to do this? And I was like, no, not doing this. Anyway, fast forward to now. And not only have I joined an amazing team with an amazing group of people, but this past week I promoted to manager, which is... money, which is fantastic. But it's SendOutCards is affording me that ability to run my own business, right? To own my own business, to work as much as I want, which was a lot in January, and then February I was like, pooped. But a check still came in the mail, which was amazing. And if you can't tell, I'm having a little bit of fun. So 3 things that I've been living by the last few months especially, and one is actually what Steve mentioned at our last meeting, and is in Eric War's book. But the first is, don't let the lows get too low. That means you have to push on, no matter what. And that's in anything in your life, but especially I think in network marketing, right? Because 2, it's not about me. Because I know you're really going to love this system. Even if you say no today, I know you're going to love the system at some point. It's not about me. And thirdly, it's what Steve had said, that's in Eric's book, is some will, some won't, and what, right? Because it's not about me. And some are waiting, right? Some are waiting, which is totally right. Anyway, I am grateful for what SendOutCards is offering myself and my family, and I'm just really happy that prosperity and abundance are into my life now. Thank you, Julie.
Anybody else? All right. Guys, we literally could go around the world and everybody would have a story like that. And I just want you to realize that you can do this. Every single person in this room can get this done. And I don't, you guys are all here for many different reasons. But the bottom line is you're in the room. Whether you want to learn how to send cards and gifts and save some money, or you want to go out there and make a bunch of money. And whether you understand it or not, somebody posted this on Facebook a few weeks ago. And I thought, this is so appropriate. It's like if somebody offers you an amazing opportunity and you're not sure you can do it, just say yes. Figure it out later. Just figure it out later, right? Because nobody in this room can argue with what we have. Did I mention the 3D card gifts? You're sending them anyway. You are going to save money. Some of you are going to make a bunch of money with your current businesses, Joe, and some of you are going to make millions of dollars in building a SendOutCards business. And we've got that proof in the room here already. I want everybody in the room to realize that you can get this done. And what Jordan and I are going to do, and guys, we're going to keep you here for another 30 or 45, 50 minutes before we break for lunch. And we want to show you how simple this system really is. Okay? And in building a business like this, there are 2 ingredients for success. And the first one is enthusiasm. Guys, if you are genuinely excited about the concept of SendOutCards, people will seek you out. That's why social media is so good. If you try to sell things on social media, you'll never sell anything. Just show people on social media what your lifestyle is. Share things on social media, what this company is doing for you, and people look at that and go, what the heck are you up to? That's how it works. So get excited about it. And if you take the last 4 letters of the word, enthusiasm, I-A-S-M, it's an acronym for I am sold myself. I am sold myself. Now, let me ask you this. How many of you in this room consider yourselves professional recruiters? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5? Okay. All right. Is there anybody in this room who can personally sponsor 100 new MDs on their front line by next Saturday? Okay, let's talk about some of the reasons why that might be a little bit tough. All right? Some of you have a job. That JOB is just getting in the way. Some of you have some family obligations. Maybe you've got some religious obligations. Maybe you just don't know that many people. So for any one of us to go put 100 people in this business as marketing directors, marketing distributors, by next Saturday, that might be a little bit difficult. But what if I ask you this? Anybody in this room who personally sponsors 100 new MDs on their front line by next Saturday, I will personally write you a check for $100,000. Now how many of you are going to go do that? Now how many of you are going to go do it? You see your hands. Guys, you're going to talk to everybody, right? You're going to go down the floor to this hotel. You're going to put cards underneath everybody's hotel room. You're going to stop people on the street. You're going to go talk to your neighbor that you haven't spoken to in years, right? You're going to do whatever it takes to get 100 people on your front line by next Saturday. On top of that's tip one. Now, 30 seconds ago, there was literally one person who was going to put 100 people on their front line by next Saturday. Now we have half the group. What changed? What changed? Your attitude changed, didn't it? How much did it cost you to change your attitude? Not 100,000. So in Canada, it is muscle money, isn't it? It didn't cost you anything to change your attitude, did it? If you think you can put 100 people on your front line by next week, or you don't think you can put 100 people on your front line by next week, you're absolutely right. Second ingredient is simplicity. We have got to keep our business simple. The only 2 things we will ever do are sign up customers and sign up reps. And guys, when you think about it, some of the most rewarding and most productive aspects of our lives are the simple. You just sit there and go, the simpler, the better, right? Well, think about it. There's only 3 colors. Well, look what Michelangelo did with 3 colors. There's only 7 musical notes. Well, look what Bach Beethoven did with 7 notes. I always say, look what Elvis did with 2. I never use that joke again. Elvis and bass. John 3:16. John 3:16. 26 words. 22 of them are 1 syllable. Lincoln's Gettysburg Address. 262 words. 202 are 1 syllable. We have got to keep our businesses simple. Customers, reps. Some will, some won't. So what? Stop whining, start working. Next. Right? SW, 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 SW. Guys, we put together what we call the Simple Success System. And this is a system that will allow everybody to succeed in our business. See, guys, and I mentioned this at the convention. You want us to stand up on the stage here today and tell you that you can do this. That's really what you want to hear. You know, you don't want me to fly all the way from Milwaukee, Jordan come all the way from Vegas, to stand up here and go, maybe you can do it. You might be able to do it. I'm not sure, but you might be able to do it. That's exactly what you want to hear, that you can do this, right? And I say that from a position of fact. Of fact. Because I've already done it. Jordan's done it. Melissa's doing it. We've got examples of people all over this room who are doing it. Guys, if you're a high school baseball player, and you go up to Derek Jeter, and you say, I want to play in the major league someday. Derek is going to look at that guy and go, you know what? You probably can. You know, you're going to get sore. You're going to throw your arm out, you know, fielding ground balls. And you're going to get a lot of blisters on your hands from taking batting practice. But you know what? If you work hard enough, you probably can play in the majors. Why? Because he's done it. If that same high school baseball player goes to his high school baseball coach, who is an expert in baseball, and says, I think I'm going to play in the major league someday. That coach is going to say, you might want to rethink your goals there, son. You might want to be a little bit more realistic in your thinking. What makes you think you can play in the major leagues? There's only 450 players in the major leagues. Millions of kids try out every single year. What makes you think you're going to do that? And the reason is because he hasn't done it. He hasn't done it. We stand up on this stage here today and tell you guys that you can do this because we've already done it. We've already done it. It's just a matter of now you going and doing the work. And what we've done is we put together the system to simplify everything. We're going to leverage the power of our product. Okay? We're going to leverage the power of our product. One of the things, you guys, Netflix did 3.5 years ago. You guys have Netflix? I am half the time. Do you know that Milwaukee is further north than Toronto? Yes. So somebody goes, oh, you guys think we live in igloos up here. I'm like, I'm further north than you are. Okay? I told you I was going to say. Netflix 3.5 years ago was going out of business. Netflix completely changed their business model, and they started giving their product away. Netflix said, try our product. Just use it for 30 days. Tell us how you like it. Watch as many movies as you can watch. And in 18 months, they signed up 18 million customers by leveraging the power of the product. So we at SendOutCards went, hey, let's not reinvent the wheel. Let's just give it away. Right? Let's just give our product away. Right? So we're going to leverage the power of our product. We're going to make the money flow faster. Guys, when you sign up a new distributor today, when they activate 2 accounts, I don't care if they sell them or just give them away. As soon as those accounts light up, all of the money is paid. All the fast start bonuses, everything is paid with those 2 customers. And we're going to make it easier for people to share the power of SendOutCards. We're going to make it so easy. And the system that I'm going to show you here, and Jordan's going to help me do this, the system is, we've taken the fear out of this. Because everybody in this room can give stuff away. Just try it and tell me what you think. Now, here's our strategy. I talked about those 3 things. But guys, here's our strategy. You're going to send 1 personal card per day. Ron? Yeah. You and me, baby. Okay, you're done for the day. And 1 gift per week. You're going to try to qualify for the manager pool every single month. Try to get in that pool every single month, which is the activity that you need to go build your business. And then you're going to teach other people how to do the exact same thing. And we do that again and again and again. And a gentleman who has absolutely positively mastered this. I've known this guy for over 20 years. And we personally we were never in each other's organizations. We were always sidelined to each other. But we built our businesses kind of parallel with each other. We struggled and we struggled and we struggled, and we just kept doing it long enough to figure out, I've got a saying in this business, and that is, if you do the business bad long enough, you'll make money at it. Right here, right? Children, right here. But Jordan has gone on to become the #1 incomer in SendOutCards. That's great, and Jordan loves that applause. But he'll be the first one to tell you all he did was get started. And Jordan is not done yet. I mean, because I guarantee a lot of you in this room go, man, if I was making the kind of money Jordan Adler's making, that'd be unbelievable. You know what Jordan says? If I was making the kind of money that my friends that I know are making, because this guy's got a goal to make 7 figures a month. 7 figures a month. Okay? This guy knows how to go out there and do it. And he has helped us create the system where it's simple for everybody to follow. Somebody told me one time, they said, if you want to be successful, just find other successful people and do what they do. Guys, if we do it the way Jordan Adler does it, we're all going to be making beach money very, very soon. Would you please help me welcome from Las Vegas, Nevada, this is Jordan Adler. But, you know, Jordan and I, we work really, really close together. I love this guy like a brother. We have a lot of fun together, as you can probably tell. But Jordan, when you talk about this strategy, I think a lot of people sitting out there, they look at this and go, come on, dude, it can't be that easy.
Well, first thing I have to say, thank you, Steve.
Yeah.
And I'm going to have a chance to spend a lot more time with you this afternoon. I'm going to keep this part really brief. But what I want to say is Phoebe Trotman brought Melissa into the business. Melissa's in her business. She's her upline. Phoebe is in Vancouver. She's not here right now. Melissa and the team here put this event together. Melissa is building a business here. Phoebe and Melissa have become friends, but Phoebe's not doing the business. Melissa's doing the business. Do you understand what I'm saying? That is the way the business works. It's the simplicity of this. You find the right person at the right time, and your business takes off. So I want to talk about this for a minute because, see, I was involved with a company where I watched, when I was brand new, I was in my early 30s, Steve was in his 20s when we met. Neither of us had ever made money in network marketing. We were both trying to figure it out. We were all trying to figure the thing out. Like to figure out, just like many of you, like how do we get our business going? And we watched a guy who was the first network marketer in this particular company go from a few distributors to 2.5 million distributors in his organization. And he stuttered, and he spoke very slowly, and his talks, quite frankly, were pretty boring. And he would stand up in front of a group, and it didn't matter if the group was 5 people, and I was in a meeting with him with 5 people, or 10,000 people over time. He told the same 1-hour speech. And in every speech, he talked about 3 things. 3 things. He talked about, and it doesn't even matter what the 3 things were, to be honest. But when people heard those 3 things, they would say these words, I can do this. When people believe they can do it, they go out and do it. How many of you have seen that Jim Carrey, that little 45-second Jim Carrey speech that's going around and viral right now? He talks about his father in that video, and he says, my dad was hilarious. He was a comedian, but he never did comedy. He became an accountant because he was more realistic. And he never believed he could be a comedian. That's the reason why he never did it. He says that in his speech. But until you believe it's possible, you don't go out and do it. So Steve Smith was the guy's name, and he would do this talk for 1 hour, and he would talk about 3 things, 3 simple things. This, and this. He talked about the simplicity of the business. He talked about don't quit. He said, he used to say, there's never been a book. Called How to Quit Your Way to Success. But his business grew from a few people to 2.5 million people, and I watched this over a period of years, and I thought when I joined SendOutCards 10 years ago, I thought I need a simple message that I can repeat over and over and over and over and over and over and over again and figure out different ways to say the same thing in 1 hour that were 3 things. These are the 3 things right here. We're going to get a little more, we're going to dig a little deeper. But part of it is, you know, what Catherine was talking about, sending out at least 1 personal card a day, expressing gratitude every day. At least 1. If you want to turbocharge it, send 3. But no agenda there. Send out at least 1 a day. The second thing is qualify for the manager pool. What does that mean? It simply means going for the manager pool, which we're going to talk about, like going to qualify for it. simply means activating one free account every 3 days and making sure you have 2 preferred customers or sponsoring 3 distributors. It's really simple, but it's building the business. And then if you just teach that, it grows the business. It's a very simple message. It's easy to explain. We're going to get into it in a little more detail. So you, like, for those of you that don't know what that number 2 is there, we're going to get into that in a little more detail. But it's the simplicity of building the business that will grow your business. Yeah, I can do it factor. So we're gonna. Steve's got a lot. We got a lot to cover in the next 35 minutes. So I'm gonna give the mic back to him, and I'll be back up here.
Well, stay up here though. Yeah. We're gonna sort of hang out with this. You keep that mic. But guys, right here, where Jordan talks about the strategy, because this is where you want to be. Okay, this is where you want to be to start with. Okay, you want to get to the position of manager. This is you. You sponsor 3 MDs into the business. Make sure they fulfill the customer requirement, which is what? Sign up 1 preferred customer at $31 a month, or 2 retail customers at $9.80 a month, or activate 2 of those splash packs. And those are 3 accounts right there. Any one of these 3 pays out all the money. So somebody who's brand new in the business today, I want you to look at this and go, okay, that's what I need to do when I walk out of this room. But please understand, this is just the beginning. Because the other, number 3 on Jordan's strategy was teach it. Teach these 3 people to do the same, who do the same, who do the same, who do the same, who do the same. And you're going to get promoted to senior manager, then you're going to get promoted to executive, then senior executive, and then Eagle distributor. Jordan was our very first Eagle distributor in SendOutCards. Okay? So I'm not going to teach how to become an Eagle, because if you just do that and teach it, that's right.
Yeah. So I sponsored a guy. This guy is my mortgage guy. In Las Vegas, and he became my customer 6 months ago. So he's just been sending cards for 6 months. And I ran into him at a networking event the other night, and I'm so excited about this new social media project that we've got going on that you guys are going to hear about today, later on today, but in more detail. But I ran into the guy, and it dawned on me. And remember, I'm doing what I asked. I'm not going to ask you to do anything that I'm not willing to do. So I'm going to triple qualify for the pool this month. That's what I'm doing. Okay, so I need to sponsor 3 personally sponsored distributors to do that. Well, I've already sponsored 1, and I targeted in my mind. I'm like, my mortgage guy. He's the guy. I want him as my new distributor. So I said, Michael, I need to talk to you for 5 minutes after the meeting. He said, great. We sat down, and I pulled out a notepad. He knows what I do. He's on the system. You know, he sends cards. But I pulled out a notepad, and I wrote $3.95. And right underneath it, I wrote 10 accounts. And I told him, I said, Michael, for $3.95, the company gives you 10 accounts. If you work with all these mortgage guys, you can just give it to the guys in your office. Right? That would be a really great way of getting those accounts out. And then I showed him a copy of the social media site, the page, which we're going to show you here in a little bit too, again. When I showed him that, I talked about how big I think it's going to be, and I said, Michael, why don't we get you set up as a distributor? I mean, I'm talking a 5-minute talk. I didn't go through the whole thing with him. I said, why don't we set you up as a distributor? I think this is going to be really big, and help you get some of these accounts out there. He said, let's do it. Like that, just let's do it. Okay, so I signed him up last night, and I told him, now hang on. Actually I signed him up yesterday morning on my convention in Vegas. I told him I needed him to bring me 2 people today, like the same day. I need you to bring me 2 people that will try SendOutCards for free and just play around with it and give you their opinion of it, you know? And so right now, so he's going to text me with that. I texted him again this morning. He's going to text me with that information. But my goal is to get him, because he's a new marketing distributor, my goal is to get him his 2 splash packs activated. Why? So he gets $50 and I get my pay. So I'm going to help him get started. And then when I get back, we've got a time set up to sit down with him and go over it. Okay, so.
Simple, 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 right? Go out there, share the power of the product. All of this looks great. But you sit there and go, okay, well, that's Jordan's.
I'm mortgage guy.
Mortgage guy. Jordan's got like 87 houses. So he's got a really good mortgage guy. Now, this is all great. But we're
you think he's joking. He's not joking.
I'm not joking. I'm not joking at all. So
I don't live in a house. I don't live in a house.
You get a house. You get a house.
Oprah, free houses for everyone.
You're recording this. It's on a Google Hangout. Now you're going to need an attorney.
Those on the listening listening audience, you all get houses.
All right, here we go. This whole thing, guys, starts with a list. All right, we talk about, where does this whole thing start? I mean, we could have the greatest financial opportunity in the world, but if we don't have anybody to share it with, it doesn't mean anything. Right? You need to make an inventory of every single person you can possibly think of without pre-qualifying anybody. Don't sit there and go, "Wow, Mary, she would be very good." Because how do you know? How do you know who Mary knows? Okay? The number one reason that most small businesses fail today is because of the lack of working capital. Plain and simple, they run out of money. The working capital in our business are people. We will never, ever run out of people to talk to, and it starts with a contact list. I was going through this with, very similar to you, Jordan. I was sitting with a guy one time just showing him the business, and he said to me, he goes, "I just don't know that many people." I said, "Really?" I said, can I grab your phone for a second?" So he handed me his phone, and I'm glad it was an iPhone, because I know my way around an iPhone a little bit. And I immediately went to his contacts, and I just started scrolling through his contacts. And when I got to the end, and I'm like, "You're not going to believe this, but 680 people individually stole your phone and put their contact in your phone." Listen, guys, if you actually take the time to put somebody's contact into your phone, there's a pretty good chance you call that person. Right? So as you're creating this list, use your cell phone contacts, use your Facebook friends. Okay? Create a list, and $1 million list is a list that has at least 100 names on it. That's a good place to start. Is a list that has at least 100 names on it. Because what we found out is that out of every list of 100, there's one person on that list who will make your car payment. There's one person on that list who will make your house payment. And there's one person on that list who will make you financially independent. Now, you guys knowing that, sitting in this hotel room here today knowing that, are you willing to go through 97 straight no's, your nuts, your crazies, you're going to jails? If you knew those 3 people were next, yes or yes? Yes. Guys, most people don't. Most people take their $8 profit, you blow it out of the water. Number 2 profit, you blow it out of the water. And then we'll get a phone call. The phone call goes something like this. They'll say, "Hey, listen, Steve. Listen, man, I don't think that SendOutCards thing is going to work." "Yeah, I talked to everybody I know." "Yeah, and they both told me no." "I don't think it's going to work." Guys, when is it a problem that 2 people tell you no? When is that a problem? It's when you've got 2 names on your list, right? If you've got 2 names on your list and 2 people tell you no, then you've got an issue. But if you have at least 100 names on your list and 2 people tell you no, what's the problem?
So you use your Facebook friend list and your cell phone contact list, right? And start writing names. It needs to be written. It can't be in your computer. It needs to be a written list that's on your desk or on your kitchen counter or your car seat or wherever it is. It needs to be a written list. Every time a name pops in your head, the name should be on the list. And the people that build successful businesses, they all of them have a written list. So you want to start there. And so when somebody comes to me and they say, "My business is growing," I say, "Let me see your list." And most of the time, they don't even have a list. They don't have one. So start there. And one of the things Steve said earlier when he was talking about, "I'll pay you $100,000 if you'll go and sponsor 100 distributors in the next week." What's really interesting is that I have many, many friends in the network marketing profession that make $50,000 to $500,000 a month, and I even have one that makes over $1 million a month. Many. Most people have never met somebody that makes that kind of money. But because of the position that I'm in today, I've met those people at industry professional events, right, where I speak on the stage with them. And what's interesting is that most of them have sponsored between 100 and 200 people, personally. See, if you'll go out and have a goal, not in the next week, but let's say you do that over the next 2 to 3 years, sponsor personal, 100 people. If you sponsor 1 person a month or 2 people a month working part-time, most of you won't be making a little bit of money. You'll be making a lot of money every month, more than what Steve would be willing to pay you for sponsoring 100 people. Are you following me?
That $100,000 that I offered is nothing.
So I'm sitting there leaning against the wall thinking to myself, I wouldn't sponsor 100 people for $100,000. Do you understand that? Because it's way more than that. Like, you have to pay me way more than that.
Don't ruin my gift.
Sorry.
Now, how to invite these people? All right, how to invite them. We all can go out there and make a list. All right, you've got that list sitting in front of you, and you try to pre-qualify these people a little bit, and you've got mutual respect with this person, and this person's looking for an opportunity, and this person's got the money to get started. Everybody who has 3 check marks, that's considered your top tier prospects, and you've got those names sitting right there in front of you. Now the question is, how do you get the names off your list and in front of the opportunity? And once again, we're going to keep it short, we're going to keep it simple, be in a rush. This is the part that I love right here, is be in a rush, okay? If I call up a friend, and Jordan, I want you to talk about how you do it, but how I've done it, you guys, is I'll call a friend of mine up, somebody on my list or whatever, and I'll say, Bobby, let me ask you real quick. If I can show you a way to make money for simply being nice to people who would be interested. Now, what's my friend Bobby going to say to me? No, he's not going to say sure at all. He's going to go, what? He's going to go, what? Because remember, in any conversation, the person who is asking the questions is the person who's in control of the conversation. Now, when I say to my friend Bobby, if I can show you a way to get paid for simply being nice to people who would be interested, that's a question, right? He turns around and says, what? That's another question. Listen, buddy, I'm in control of this conversation. So I'm going to completely ignore his what? And I'm going to say, Bobby, if I can show you a way to get paid for simply being nice to people, would you be interested? He's going to go, what? Bobby, if I can show you a way to get paid for simply being nice to people, would you be interested? Dude, what are you talking about? Bobby, if I can show you a way to get paid for simply being nice to people, would you be interested? And I'm going to continue to ask that exact same question until I get a what? Yes. Because he's eventually going to say yes. And as soon as he says yes, I say, great, where are you buying me lunch today? And I'm not kidding. That's what I'll say. That's what I'll say. And then when we meet, that's when we explain SendOutCards. That's when I explain. And I'm in a rush. I'm in a hurry. I say, listen, where can we meet? And we'll figure out a time. I don't care if it's at Starbucks or wherever. But we'll go meet. My main goal is to get Bobby off the phone and get him in front of the opportunity.
That's right. Whether it's on the phone, sometimes you have to set an appointment for a phone appointment because they might not be in the same place as you. All right, so I have to tell you guys a really funny story. By the way, keep being in a rush might mean you get on the phone and you say, I only have a minute. See, yeah, when you call somebody, they're very, very busy, and you're very, very busy. How many of you are busy in your lives? Raise your hand. We're all busy. The people you're calling are busy. So it's a relief to them when you call and say, I only have a minute. And see, in reality, when I make my phone calls, I only have a minute. So when I call somebody, I say, I only have a minute. The reason and I tell them directly, the reason I'm calling, I'm not calling to chit-chat. I'm calling for a reason. The reason I'm calling is because there's something I want to get together with you and talk about. So I only have a minute. The reason I'm calling is there's something I want to get together with you about, either over the phone or in person, that I want to talk to you about. That's what I say. Then I say, I know you're going to have questions. Look at the last one on there. I know you're going to have questions. I'm going to make sure all your questions get answered. You with me? So then they're not asking me questions on the phone. As soon as they ask me one, then they answer that, then they have another, and then they answer that. Next thing you know, I've done 5 minutes of doing a terrible job of presenting it. They really don't get it. Do you understand what I mean? Yeah. So I only have a minute. I know you're going to have questions. There's some things I want to run by you. When can we set up a time to get together? So I got together with a group of 6 people in Vegas last week. They all have come into the convention, and I sat down with them and I told them to bring their lists and their business cards. And I brought a stack of business cards like this that I collected with a big rubber band around it. Cards that I've had for a long time. And I had my list with me, and I said, I'm going to show you how to do this. And so I did exactly what I just did for you. I did exactly with them. I pulled a couple cards out. I sold me some clothes for a convention. His name's Sam. And I called Sam on the phone, and I said, hey, Sam, this is Jordan. I don't know if you remember me, but I bought him. Oh, Jordan, I remember you. You know why you remember me? Because I sent him a card. Think about this. So he remembered me. I said, Sam, I only have a minute. True story. This last week. I only have a minute. I have something I want to get together with you about and talk to you about that I think you might be interested in. And I know you're going to have questions about it, and I'm going to answer all your questions when we get together. When would be a time that I can catch you in front of your computer, either at your shop or at Starbucks or whatever? When can I catch you for about a half hour that we can sit down? And I was getting ready to leave town, and so we scheduled something for when I get back. Simple, but it's a quick call. It's like 1 to 2 minutes. How many of you can do that? Raise your hand. Use that. Just put that in front of you when you make your calls. I got to tell you a really quick funny story. You are going to crack up in this story. All right. So I pull out this. I actually on my list. It wasn't a card. On my list is this guy named Jeremy, who's a property manager in Milwaukee, and I've never met him in person, but I've talked to him. He's a referral, and I've talked to him on the phone a couple times. So I had him in my phone. So I'm scrolling through my phone, and I see Milwaukee, and I click on it, and I call him. So I'm doing this in front of the group of 6 people. And I call him. I said, "Hey, Jeremy, this is Jordan." He goes, "Hi, Jordan." I go, "The reason I'm calling," I said, "I only have a minute. The reason I'm calling is because I want us to get together with you. I want to run some things by you. And I know you're going to have some questions about it, but I'd like to try and find a time where we can talk on the phone for about a half hour where you'll be in front of your computer and I can explain some things. When can we do that?" And he told me a time, and we set up a time to get together. And then I hung up the phone. And I was like, they were all like, that was really great. Later on that day, I'm calling Larry, the property manager in Milwaukee, another property manager. And I look on my phone and I see Larry. I had just recently called him. But I didn't see Jeremy. I actually had called Larry, and Larry's already in SendOutCards. I set up an appointment to show SendOutCards to a person that's already in SendOutCards, and I called him the wrong name, and he still set up an appointment with me.
Larry, Jeremy, that's kind of the same.
I set up an appointment with the wrong guy using the wrong name, and he still said yes. And he's already in.
I love that. Now, those of you that are taking pictures of the screen, wouldn't it be wonderful if we had this all in a neat little fast start guide for you? Call Vanessa, her personal number is. We will have this together next. How to present, and guys, we pretty much gave you an idea of how to present, tell how and why you got started in the business. Literally, anybody that's been on the stage so far today, all we're doing is telling you stories. We're really just telling you personal stories. All right, so it's important that you tell your story, why you got started, walk them through sending a card. We're going to leverage the power of the product, and then we're going to ask them to show, or we're going to ask them to watch 3 short videos. George, you want to add something to this? I want to show the first 2 videos.
Let me just stand up.
Okay.
So this is a simple, the how and the why you got started lasts for 1 to 2 minutes. Okay, every one of you have a story of how you got started in the business and why you got started. So tell them, how did you hear about it and why are you doing it? What do you like about it in 1 to 2 minutes? Then you walk them through sending a card. Now, if you've sent cards, you can show somebody else how to send a card. What I do is I activate a splash pack for them, right from my account. I activate it, I get their information, they log in, and I walk them through step by step. I don't tell them how to send a card. I don't have them send a card to themselves. I don't have them do it on their own. I walk them through. It takes 10 minutes. I step by step walk them through sending a card, and then I have them watch 3 videos. So here's how it starts. When I'm on the phone with somebody, or I'm with them in person, this is exactly what I say. What's your name again? Kirsten, 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 Kirsten. I say, Kirsten, what I'm going to do, I tell her this. Kirsten, what I'm going to do is I'm going to tell you how and why I got started doing this. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to actually walk you through it so you can see how it works, so you can actually try it for yourself. And then I'm going to have you watch 3 very short videos that'll last a total of 10 minutes. Okay? So now she knows what I'm going to do. So what's the first thing I'm going to do? I'm going to tell her how and why I got started in SendOutCards. Then I'm going to say, now what we're going to do is I'm going to have you send a card to someone you care about. So who do you know that you care about that you know their home address? Your mom and dad. Perfect. Okay, so I'm going to walk you through sending a card to your mom and dad. But before I do that, I need to set the account up. So then I'm going to set up a splash pack for her. Now once it's set up, she has a username and password. I'm going to walk you through sending a card to your mom and dad. Now after we do that, then I'm going to show you the 3 videos, okay? Okay, so we do that, and then I show her the 3 videos. The last video, she gets to pick 1 or 2, like blue pill or red pill, right? If she picks 1 or 2. And depending on what she picks, that tells me what she's interested in after watching the first 2 videos. If she picks 1, I know she's interested in Distributor. If she picks 2, I know she's interested in customer. Then I ask the question, on a scale of 1 to 10, where do you see yourself? So give me a number on a scale of 1 to 10. Where do you see yourself? She's a 7. What did she just tell me? She's interested, but she needs more, or she has some questions. What if she told me she was a 2? What did she just tell me? Not interested. Well, so go ahead, show the thing.
Now, and I'm going to talk about some things afterwards. But guys, when we talk about this funnel system, Jordan set the whole thing up. We want people to fall in love with sending a card. Okay? But we also want them to fall in love with the business side of showing other people how to send cards. And that's where the videos come in. And so, show them how to send a card. If you haven't watched the first video, Robert, help me with. I'm not sure about the volume, so I'll let you be in control of that if it's crazy volume. So get ready to plug in your thing. Ready? Oh, you're good. Ready? Here we go. It might be okay.
We are living in the greatest era in the history of time. I have so much to give, so much inside of me trying to get out. Ideas, thoughts, possibilities, and the need to express my admiration to those around me. What is it that holds me back? What is it that ties me down? How do I break out and be who I am meant to be? Opportunity is in abundant supply. The time is now. The key to my destiny is in my hand. I'm ready to walk through the door. If I can think it, I can believe it. And if I can believe it, I can achieve it. This is me. I'm expressing who I am and reaching out to those I care about. This is the life I'm meant to live. This is who I'm supposed to be. Celebrating connections with kindred spirits, knowing that relationships are everything. Tributes to life must be paid while people are living. Greatness takes place when we are giving. Moments in time captured to nourish souls. And through it all, the genius in me shines when I celebrate the genius in me. I must reach out, letting others know that they matter, that I do care, that appreciation is pure energy, the kind that takes me to new heights, gives me bigger dreams, and allows me to make a difference. In business, I must take this new attitude, this new philosophy, and show those I work with that I truly care. The transaction is merely what brought us together. In today's technology, there must be a way for me to tap into who I am and give myself to the world, a way to celebrate life, to share in gratitude, and to show others that they too can take part in this kind of movement. Ascending attitudes and emerging technologies, this is what creates a revolution in business and in life. Think of the vast possibilities. What if we could revolutionize an industry? What if we could share in the wealth it creates? What if this possibility leveraged our giving hearts, but also rewarded us for sharing this movement with others? Is it possible that this could create a global gathering of positive, happy people? Today is the day we bring you that possibility.
You guys applaud that. A brand new person who looks at that, they're like, what was that?
What is it?
It doesn't tell you anything, does it? It doesn't tell you anything. You guys played the game really well just now. Because a brand new person looks at it and goes, what the heck was that all about? All we want that video to do was to pique their interest. What they just saw was something bigger than themselves. You see the Netflix and the Amazon, and tributes to people must be paid while they're still living. Right? What is all of that? Well, they already just sent a card, so they kind of have an idea. And when the video is over with, this is the screen that's up. What's screaming on this page right now? Learn more. So they click Learn More, and this is what they see.
What Amazon did for books, Netflix did for movies, and iTunes did for music, is what SendOutCards is doing for the greeting cards and gifting industries. Traditionally, Those industries are offline brick-and-mortar establishments where profits are shared by its owners. SendOutCards is moving those industries to an online click-and-order process using modern technology to help the world reach out in kindness. What makes the revolution complete is it gives anyone willing to share its message an opportunity to share in the profits. It's not just in the sending of cards and gifts. The magic lies in showing others how to send the cards and gifts. And you get paid to do it. That's right. We get paid to be nice to people. This means that you can become part of the next billion-dollar household name. Studies have shown that consumers purchase a fraction of the greeting cards and gifts they want or need to. This is due to inconvenience and the simple truth that we forget about the opportunities we have to celebrate others. SendOutCards makes it super convenient, and they never let you forget a birthday or special occasion. They also provide a way for you to send the unexpected act of appreciation. This is creating a revolution of kindness around the world. What does this mean to you? Greeting cards and gifts combine to represent annual sales of $110 billion, and that's only a fraction of its capacity. The revolutionary movement like SendOutCards, we're not only grabbing a piece of that market, we are actually making the market bigger. Like we said before, the magic lies in the sharing. You can make money showing others how to send cards and gifts by starting your own SendOutCards business. This is a business that pays you to gather customers, pays you to show others how to gather customers, and pays you for all the greeting cards and gifts that are purchased by potentially thousands of people on your team, month after month, year after year. In fact, we have thousands of people making money on a full or part-time basis with SendOutCards. You may not understand all that just yet. Just know there are multiple ways to earn money with SendOutCards, which makes this one of the best in-home business opportunities available in the world today. Once again, it's time for you to act. Join now.
You were afraid to clap that time, weren't you? A little hesitation there. Okay, now that's intriguing. People look at that and go, I can make money doing this? So then this is the screen that comes up, and you've got two options here. Either you are a 1 or you are a 2. Now, they already know what the customer option, they've already sent the card, they kind of get that. What everybody is clicking on is option 1. Because I get in the second video, it says, yeah, you can get paid to send greeting cards and gifts. We don't talk details. So what people are doing is they're hitting option 1, and this is what they see. Congratulations. Okay, they see me. That's all. They see the second half of what you guys saw here today. Talking about here's how the cost to get started, and here's how you make money. Guys, that is the simple system. And when we talk about let the system do the sorting, and this is the mistake that a lot of people make, is that you, the distributor, you're super excited about SendOutCards, and you're talking to somebody who doesn't know anything about SendOutCards. And what a lot of people try to do is they take that person who doesn't know anything about SendOutCards and they try to move them all the way over to jump up and down excited the way that you are, and they try to do it in 30 minutes and they get all depressed when it doesn't happen. Well, the people who are successful in this business understand that you take that person who doesn't know anything about it and you just move them slowly to your side. Okay? And the 3 steps that Jordan talked about. Invite them to come and look, show them how to send the card. If they're still interested, they're watching video 1, video 2, video 3, and you're moving them closer to your side, moving them closer to the middle without arguing.
And what did you do? You activated a splash pack for them, which allows you to focus on continuing to get into the pool, right? Because remember, to get into the pool, if you're a manager, first you got to get to manager, but when you're in the pool, it's 10 activations, of which 2 of them are preferred customers. So if you give away 10 splash packs, that's 10 a month, right? That's 1 every 3 days. You're giving away 1 every 3 days. That's if you're only going for 1 share in the pool. You give away 1 every 3 days, you haven't watched the videos, at least 2 of them are going to upgrade to preferred customer, and 1's going to be a marketing distributor. You're going to get all your money back, and you're going to get your splash pack share amount from the company, the pool amount, right on top of that, you would reinvest that back into the company, get 10 more for $150, which is at wholesale, and do it again. Then teach your team to do the same thing. You just repeat that cycle over and over and over again. So I have a few more things to talk about. Oh, let's go ahead. You talk about this, and then I'll jump in.
Well, I mean, it doesn't happen very often that somebody follows up, or that somebody signs up on the spot. It doesn't happen very often. It happens every once in a while, but it doesn't happen very often. And so the key, once you've got somebody, and these are the fence sitters, don't you hate those people who are sitting on the fence? Drives you crazy, doesn't it? Follow up with them with
painful. It's painful to say.
It's painful. It's painful. I don't need to get into this, but it is painful. But Jordan and I mean, Jordan, we got started in 1 year.
92, late 92 is when are you talking about? Oh, no, 2004, 2005 is when I started.
Jordan signed me up as a customer in 2005. And he's never missed my birthday since then. All right, he's been great. And I get cards periodically from Jordan. And I was, building another business, and just kind of maybe we'll tell you that story how we're all standing on the stage together this afternoon. But I would get these cards from Jordan all the time. And so I knew what was going on at SendOutCards. And so a great way to follow up with people, just like the guy that sold you clothes at the convention, is follow up with a card. Because somebody said the other day, I think I met this person. He said, oh yeah, but those cards are personal. They are way more personal than a Hallmark card.
And they're way more personal than the ones you're not sending.
They're almost works of art. They really are works of art. And so it's great. So follow up with the cards. That's a great way to keep in touch with people. Follow up with any good news. Like when, our convention, unbelievably successful convention. You follow up with somebody and say, hey, I want to have coffee with them. I want to tell you about what happened in Salt Lake City. I want to talk to you about the mobile app. I want to talk to you about this new program called Sincere. Any excuse with an invitation, any excuse to get that person back in front of the opportunity, use it. Use it, use it, use it. And whenever you get some positive signals, anybody says, you know what, that's amazing. I always say, are you ready to get started? Are you ready to get started? How do you want the name to appear on your checks? Guys, if you don't ask for the order, you'll never get it. I believe that, people, we all want to be told what to do. And so when you're sitting down with somebody, just naturally walk through the process and then ask them to join your business. And sometimes they're going to say yes on the spot. But if you use the follow-up system, follow up with good news, invite them, just keep it in front of them. Any positive signals that you get, ask them to join your business. It's not a whole.
Yeah, so in real life, what I do is when I have a list of people that I've shown the business to, and they're in my contact manager, and they're also on a written list, and on a regular basis, those people get cards from me. Like every 2 or 3 months, they're going to get a card from me, just so that they know I'm thinking about them. It might even be a campaign card with just a cool quote, or like that, anything that I find that I think is inspiring, or a story that I hear from a distributor, I put it in a card and I send it to them as a campaign. And so those people get cards from me. But whenever something good happens, whenever I get some good news, an announcement or a conference call, I send them the link and I say, watch this, it's only 25 minutes. And so what happens is, after you've been doing that for a while, you get to a point where every month you have new people calling you wanting to sign up. People that you showed it to 6 months ago, a year and a half ago. And that's happening to Melissa right now. It happens to people that have been around the business for a while and don't quit. But when you quit, or when you go away for a while, those people, either they go to some other company or they find somebody else to join under. And I'm going to tell you something. If you're taking notes, write this down. You can count the acorns in a tree, but you can't count the trees in an acorn. You can count the acorns in a tree, but you can't count the trees in the acorn. See, when I go to an event, there's sometimes we go to an event, there's people standing on the walls. Like, we'll go to an event, there'll be 100 people in the room, there's people standing on the walls, and sometimes people on the floor. Sometimes we go to an event and 5 people show up. But I understand this about this business. One person turns to thousands. I'm going to talk about this afternoon. I'm going to tell you something right now, and I'm speaking from the heart here. What the company that you join, whether you're brand new in the business or you've been around for a while, is not the company you're going to see in the next 6 months. In the next few weeks, it's not the same company. I'm going to tell you right now that what we're getting ready to launch has never been done in the history of business. This sounds like hype, but I'm going to tell you right now, the platform that Cody Bateman put $3 million into, 23 programmers, 18 months, you haven't really seen it yet. Even those of you that were at convention, the impact that this is going to have on people, the amount of exposure that we're going to get. And remember, the company doesn't sign people up. All the distributors and customers come through us. The company doesn't take people. If they call the company doesn't take those people. It's all through us. So my point is, when you put in fact, that we launched the Splash Pack program, which is brand new. That's a brand new program. And if you think about it, Netflix, when they exploded, it was when they started giving their product away. I had somebody come to me the other day and said, Jordan, what do I do about these people that sign up for Splash Packs, that sign up for the account, they never send a card, they never send, so first of all, did you walk them through sending their first card? Yeah, but they haven't gone back and sent another card. What do you do about those people? I go, do you think Netflix worries about the person that signs up for a free 30-day trial on Netflix and never watch a movie? Do you know there's a lot of people that do that? Millions of people sign up for Netflix and never watch a second movie. Or for even a first one sometimes. They just sign up. We don't worry about them. They'll eventually come around. The reason for the program is it gives an individual, it doesn't matter whether you're good in sales or not good in sales, a way that you can introduce this to program in a this introduces to people in a very non-threatening way. It's like, I'm going to give it to you. Salespeople represent a very small percentage of the population. Am I right? How many of you consider yourself salespeople? Raise your hand. Look at 5%. 5%. So most people getting into your business don't consider themselves salespeople, but they can give it away. So we make it easy for people to do this. And all of a sudden, in the past few weeks, we've got people that won't work in the business, work in the business. See, the team that you have here in this room, this is the start of SendOutCards. This is the start of SendOutCards. No one in SendOutCards has ever seen the SendOutCards that will be launched in the next few weeks. And I'm not saying this is hype. The social media platform gives us an exponential leverage. It's a completely different paradigm. It's like what the wheel did for transportation. This social media site, Sincere does for SendOutCards what the wheel did for transportation.
Oh, that's what.
Now seriously, what the computer did for business, the computer did for business, Sincere does for SendOutCards. What the digital camera did for photography, Sincere does for SendOutCards. Now think about what we did before the digital camera, before we could take pictures with our iPhone. Think about the difference between being able to do it on your iPhone or on a digital camera as compared to the way we used to do it when we sent the. That's the difference. Nobody in this room has seen that. Do you understand what I'm saying? Now after the break, I'm going to get into details as to why. I'm going to explain to you why, so that you can be so excited about what's coming that you're going to want to scream from the rooftops and tell everybody about it. How about that? Yeah. Let's come back up. Explain to everybody what we're going to do the rest of the day. All right.
Well, thank you, Jordan. Thank you, Steve. That was fabulous. I'm so excited. I remember being at the convention and I couldn't wait to get home because I could not wait to call all of my friends and people that I knew to tell them about SendOutCards and the new SendOutCards and Sincere and what that really, really means. And I feel so fortunate to have you guys being able to explain that for me this afternoon. So I really hope that you guys, I know that you've loved the presentation this morning, but this afternoon is going to be so much more in terms of what the new SendOutCards is all about. I really, really hope that you guys come back for the short afternoon segment. We've got Jordan and Steve talking about the Sincere platform, the social media, and really what that means and how that's going to take SendOutCards to the next level. I was happy before that. I thought I was doing pretty good, but you know what? This is really just going to take our business and explode it. So really excited about that. So we're going to break for an hour. What time is it exactly? 5 after 12. All right, so we're going to be back here at 5 after 1. And so we're going to talk about the sincere, have Stephen and George speaking for a bit as well. I've got some prizes for guests, so stay tuned for that, as well as upcoming events. So we'll see you in about an hour. And my particular team and guests of our team, I'd like to see you up front here for a moment, please. Thanks, guys. Oh, one last thing. Dana and David, I think, are both going to be just outside the door over lunch, and they're going to continue selling Jordan and Steve's books. There's not very many left, so if you were considering purchasing a book, you'll want to meet them outside at the break. Thanks, everybody.
Yeah, all right, I'll see you a bit later.
Okay,
Yeah, okay.
Are you leaving this on?
I think so. Is it okay?
Yeah, just so people should know.
Okay.
It's on.
Yeah. Hey, Mike. Yeah, you don't answer a lot of things to explain that. Well, that was one of the things that I tried. Yeah, but now
I've been meeting Melissa about that. It needs to be, I was using the app, but I can only send it to my US customers. I know they took it out, I think, 6 months ago. I used it for a little bit. It didn't suck. It just was not the full scope. I can only send it to my US customers, clients, and friends, and then it went blank. Yeah. Yeah, which is TNA, has to be. Yeah. And that's all building a network and having it so that it's more interactive. There's a lot that's happening. When I meet someone and I say, listen, hey, sometimes you might brokerage or do something positive, and something happens, I say, hey, listen, you want sorry, I apologize. And we exchange business cards, or I'm at a football game, and want to do it right then. I want to do that, and I want to send you something, and you're blown away. No. No.
There's a whole big giant chunk.
Yeah. Okay.
That you don't know.
Yeah.
it's not Facebook, right? It's not the official SendOutCards page. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. It's just us. Just us. Where's everybody? Oh no. Okay. Yeah, okay.
Is I had my kids. My kids, my older daughter, she was watching my dog. It's just not 100.
Oh. Oh, that's good. No, enjoy this. It's
How are you?
yeah, we're we'll see a lot of each other. Find a car, you won't get a fine. And you're all fine to go. Stick around. Have a good friend here in the hall. Right across the floor. Yeah, that's the guy we were
I know Phoebe said something.
Yeah.
What's that say?
We're good. Hey, everybody.
Hey, this Mac can't
Oh yeah, they can see us.
do iCloud.
Yeah, so we're talking to everybody.
Phoebe, send me a text.
Phoebe.
What's going
Can we
on?
close this thing
Yeah,
and
let's
move
get out of that thing. Later. Say later. Oh, there we go. Small screen.
Hey, that's good, huh?
I hear
That's
this
good.
is a really good book. It's better than this guy's book.
This book is a fraud. It's a fraud.
Wait a minute. It says right here it's not a fraud.
Oh yeah, it says that in there. Okay. See you guys. Have a good day. We'll talk to you in minutes.
Switch this baby.